Hey guys, welcome to our daily encounter. As we go to worship with other believers today, we can be reminded of the promise that Jesus gave that where two or three are gathered in his name, there he is in their midst. And as we go to a church, we can be confident that Christ is there among us. But sometimes perhaps we might think, well, how do we know that Jesus is there? How can we be confident that he would be present given that we can't see him? We might say, well, Jesus is there, but where is he? And is he really there when I can't see him? Well, our reading today might help with this as we read in John chapter 7 how Jesus went to the Feast of Tabernacles. And when he went initially, no one even knew he was there. It says in verse 10, it says, "But when his brothers had gone up to the feast, and he himself also went up, not publicly, but as in secret." And then it goes on to say, "So the Jews were seeking him at the feast and saying, 'Where is he?'" And maybe that's what we might say as we meet with other believers is, well, he says he'll be in our midst where two or three are gathered together, but where is he? Well, just because we don't see him doesn't mean he's not there. Just because the Jewish people here wondered where he was didn't mean that he wasn't physically there, that he wasn't actually there. And so what we could say in response to this is that just because you don't see someone doesn't mean they're not there. And I think that's a pretty simple concept. How many times have we gone somewhere and perhaps we, out of the blue, saw someone that we didn't even know was going to be there, and we didn't even know that they were there until they stepped out of the crowd and approached us, and we saw that they were there. Maybe there was a time when we were going to some type of public gathering or something, and we expected someone to be there, and for a long time we didn't know they were there, but they were there the whole time. We just didn't know that they were there. So just because we don't physically see someone doesn't mean that they're not actually there. And the same thing is true with Christ. As we gather together as believers in Christ's name, we can have confidence that he is there. He is present. He is in our midst, even if we don't visibly see him. And we can, by faith, accept the fact that he is going to be there with us in worship, alongside of us, present with us, so that we can worship God together with him. And so we ought to take courage in this and say, you know what? I'm going to take by faith that Christ is there. Even if I don't see him, even if I don't hear him, even if I don't feel him, I know he's there because he made the promise that he would be there. And my own experience does nothing to negate the promise of Christ. And so as we meet together with believers, let's go in faith, knowing that Christ is with us. And what that will do is it will help us to remember that as we're remembering him, that the person that we're remembering is actually there, and that he sees what's going on. He knows what's going on in our hearts. And so we want to give him the best worship possible. And we want to honor him today as we worship him, as we draw close to him, and as he draws close to us. So these are some things we can reflect on and think about as we do reading today. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.